deep in...
Yeah, man.
Your body does not betray your degeneracy. That's a lie.
Are you? It must be frightening to... What is this?
You hear your heart pumping, fast and irregular. Your joints ache and you feel old, but still alive, somehow.
Stop it. You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
That is precisely. You reek of it. An invisible...
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
No, you don't.
Does this remind you of someone?
Look will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor. Enough. Bring your troops, you all.
This is your... No, there's a peaceful solution. You could internalize me. Do it now. How did this happen?
You must be out of your mind.
Your fist...
The words to the song have changed.
Your hand twists.
Good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic organization any further.
We still need...
Your body...
Yeah.
Your body does not betray your...
It must be frightening to stand... What?
You hear...
Stop it. This is...
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
That is... You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from you.
It's not...
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach.
No.
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Look, you gave... You don't... You will...
It is...
There is a button right behind him.
That is right. You should leave this stage or bring your troops, you all.
This is your... No. There's a peaceful... Do it. Now. Just like that, instinct took over. A solid strike straight into his throat, into the cartilage. You could swear you felt the soft palate break. The man is reeling, gasping for air. Time stands still around you. In the distance, the sounds of the harbor are falling silent. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the man's lip. He's open. Rip into him. Right hook. Escalate it. Get intimate with him. Bring the hurt closer. The man lands with a dull thump, like a broken down puppet of muscles and sinew. For a moment, he still tries to keep his head up. Dazed eyes looking at you as you slam.
Looks like you're the new man.
Her voice is surprisingly calm.
No.
On second,
It's unfortunate.
let's see what's inside. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and the same materials being handed over to... It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. The drawer. The file cabinet stands steady as ever. Look how blurry. Hermeneutics was almost within your grasp, but now only vague letters float before. You're a police officer.
Is that what you're doing with those folders over? My thought exactly, officer. Shall we?
You're trying hard, but the drawer. An imposing combination of a punch clock and the machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next. Your fingers calling, still.
Video Revachol. Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10 millimeters. Sir, I don't know. No. Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period? If you need any further assistance...
He thinks you're on the corner, tiny. Suddenly, you feel like you don't want to hear about video rentals anymore. You don't want to hear about any of it. It was all... The tarpaulin... As your fingers touch, I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is really. This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
If you must.
Nothing incriminating catches. It's a black and white René.
Why did you take that picture of René? You're really interested in...
The chair is not as austere as the rest of the drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does...
I'm not here to tell you what to do.
You take the painkillers. Oh boy, where to start? Elevated risk of dementia, mini strokes, prophet's disease, sudden death, hair death, erectile malfunction, critical flatulence, watery blood, black mucus, uncontrollable weeping, increased sensitivity to La Opera, inoperable joint disorder, total spinal collapse. Maybe this was a bad idea. You stand and exit the booth. This is the... Numerous empty wine bottles.
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. Yes.
controlled marsh. On. Arrête. Off. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance, moving.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which...
Before you stands a cargo container.
Is this like your thing with that wall again? You do? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? You just picked one out because you wanted to interact with... We're not here to interact with containers.
No reply. No reply. No reply. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. You're back before the cargo container. It's dropped. Why are you even trying to open a door with retro?
Why are you what? Are you satisfied, detective?
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, Everett.
The look
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you? I mean, just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am, yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them. Sure, mister. About what? Oh, I'm just making... Sure, mister. About what? Oh, we're on a strike.
So no...
Not every... But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everett sent them on a night... Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's you. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard me...
Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow.
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
I remember I was the runt of the class. The bigger boys always used to pick on me. You see, I had a bit of a temper back in the day. Flew off the handle like nobody's business. But Mr. Everett and his brother always came to help. Once they beat old Noel Becker so bad he needed stitches on his head. Noel never started another fight with anyone after this. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar are real nice guys, mister. You should go talk to Mr. Everett. I'm sure right-hand man.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here, and I'm always busy keeping things running here.
Yes, this place really...
Well, thanks a lot. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here.
The white rectangle on your clothes might not mean an awful lot in Martinaise, but the recognition from an authority figure made Leo's day.
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinaise what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys. Oh, Mr. Everett is where he always is. In his office, of course. Bye-bye now.
Before you is a walrus of a man, seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinaise. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me...
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be... Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse. Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. I, too, have conviction. Should you find yourself more amenable...
You're no Titan of Felician, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, How can the...
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your back.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money.
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece...
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least, don't thank him for it.
Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that.
His slug-like lips. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and...
Are you all right? It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. God, you're
Mr. Dubois, you don't...
What is this?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
While Everard...
Mr. Dubois, are you a...
Maybe you could use your hands somehow. In a kind of throw-in motion. Like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Don't be dramatic. I can see...
What an odd demonstration of... you got...
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining...
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union verse. Yes.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew. Or...
If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly is...
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me.
Okay then. Positive emotions it is. You like positive emotions.
Of course, I have no... Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing sword... What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? You've hurt me, Harry. Me! I trust you, like I trust all my...
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Do we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
Knocked him out good. It's that really cool flying desperado spin kick you did, Boyadero. Often performed by the most hard-bodied boyaderos on the steppes. So, what's on your mind this time?
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything. A warehouse? I don't know.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay? Because Frit has an army. Yeah, like 2,000 or so. I don't know. It stops people from robbing Frit, I guess. If they know there's an army, I mean, I wouldn't want to fuck with them anyway.
Businesses often hire private security this side of the river. It's an unfortunate state of affairs, but not...
You think the police, like, bother catching shoplifters? Frit polices themselves, so... yeah. Anything else you wanted?
A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall, inviting you closer.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage. Here you go, mister.
Went native on the chief, huh? Those ballerina antics were reckless. Should have just punched him in the throat again.
Wrong. You did the right thing with Measurehead. The ballerina antics won you the fight.
Let's talk about our right to work. We were promised work. We'd be in there. Main gate's locked. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Yeah, I saw your ballerina moves up there. In a real fight, these acrobatics will get you killed faster than a bullet. You caught him off guard. That only happens once. Now he's alert, standing on a narrow bridge, and my men are tired and hungry. Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then, we charge. What's it to you? Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever. The drawers.
Mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at... Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am.
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar...
Sure is, mister.
I hate to break this bonding moment, but the red containers mean they are replacing the company livery with the union livery, which means this strike isn't gonna...
Oh, hey, mister. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at... Oh, yes. People say us...
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core.
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Before the cargo... It's the ledger you found in the trash. A bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's without resistance or sound. You stare at the card, willing your hand to... Two octopuses are smiling. You stare at the card. Your hand shakes. You see the name Sileng.
Happy shopping of everything.
From out on the...
You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, you like...
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. Questions. No need to dress.
Oh, okay. But why, officer? Ah, yes.
Are you trying to ask for a bribe?
Sorry, detective.
This panel usually closes the water lock. You pull the... Nothing happens. A spring breeze... Wasn't there a...
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Someone else came here.
What? This is a point. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
She didn't. Truth be told.
Right, so...
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the Force. We have to find her.
My apologies.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing...
Of course. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
coming?
Save the economy? That sounds off.
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be very cool.
You find your...
Economical, but also trend.
You find...
Economical. The shine on
These... Those you've...
These are all first-rate sunglasses.
Those...
These are all...
Make way for the master poet. Make way for the master poet.
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
You really are the...
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. Hard to say. Cop habit. This isn't case-related, you think? No. These tracks are not interesting at all. Let the street sweeper just sweep them away.
Does Kuno care?
The fuck about it? Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. That fucking had one thing majorly wrong with him. He's a fucking do you remember how he looked? Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
Oh, come on. He's just pretending that he doesn't care because he's too small for the armor.
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Yeah? You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck, yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit. Came around pretending like he cares about cows.
Yes, you met him at the gates.
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
Yeah, Kuno's...
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire.
You're... Get lost! Kuno doesn't... Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck do you want with it? Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
Fuck your shit back to normal. What is this?
Well played. No one saw that coming.
That's where Kuno...
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too.
It's a vital...
You could use some.
Yeah?
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against you, Kuno!
You're not getting this.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die!
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Kuno...
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my stuff. None of us would tamper. The trash collection...
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track...
On Clinton Street.
Thank you anyway.
I think fugue states are more your forte, officer. Yes? Do I have a shaker in my...
He sounds irritated, and it's not a shaker. It's nothing. He's holding nothing.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this? Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? No. Do you know why? That's right. I'm the cafeteria manager. I'm glad we cleared that.
Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
Oh, well, in that case, let me pour you a nice, big, refreshing marinella. Do you want that out of a glass or a pineapple? Don't be an imbecile. I'm not going to serve you a marinella. I have work to do and broken things to fix. If that was all, I'd like to return to it. Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
How could anyone forget asshole? Take it easy on him. Deep down.
Just a moment. And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working.
A faint smile tells you she appreciates the effort, But at the moment, her mind is on more serious matters.
The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too. The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later.
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off that.
That's just it.
A cold breeze.
You have more important things to worry about. Oh, yes.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
That's one opinion, yes.
My apologies, ma'am. I didn't...
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology. One specializing in animal species. Searching for such species.
She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own. Sometimes the most charming...
I suppose you could use a break and...
One cryptid, like you said. One. This can't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
He nods and assumes a waiting. Cryptids, cryptids. Ooh, tough choice there.
The Gnome of Jeroma. Oh, yes. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue. It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and a ungainly little thing. Quite scary to look at. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it. It still took the Gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die.
If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of this very little species?
Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but...
Alas, always alas, and then it was gone. Sure, a perfectly good explanation. It dissolved in its own venom.
Of course, dear. Oh, dear. I'm not sure where to begin. Well...
You can't. It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Oh, well...
The lieutenant...
One other thing. He'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him. Even if he's not out, we'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say.
She's skipping over some important parts.
I hope I've been useful. Just some, but they...
The waterlock. That was broken. Could this be it?
Oh, sweetie. It's nothing like Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life. Oh my. What happened to the waterlock? Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared...
You're welcome.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast...
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for... Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie. Oh,
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Of course, dear.
You see ahead the door, the kobold, old kobold. A thin man. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garansi and Kubek. Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garansi Kubek. Please. It's not funny. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. He looks up at you. Shrugging is an international sign for no. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
The worn and
You can rev...
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul. If he's got Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night. Not out of any political allegiance. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
he feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes! It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officers. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individual.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
It's not charity. Not to me. Up there, I give it all I got. I earn my keep. But you're right, officer. There is no middle ground. It's do or die. She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes. Like I said, I would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. No, these tracks... You see a set of tire tracks in the brown... The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling-in rags. This is point A. The driver started there, and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager. Why that pang of guilt again? The hole in this fence doesn't look that huge. He was exaggerating. People blame cops for everything that goes wrong in the world. The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building, before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage-friendly city.
Somehow that makes you feel scared. You don't know why.
I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez. With the jam right here on the roundabout, I would keep them separate.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal there. See where they went, if you find the time. The woman before...
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks. Rows and rows, maybe 100. Those snow crabs are not even close. Man from Hjelmdal in hell. Man from Hjelmdal, and there's nothing of interest. Only...
Oh, blood and violence. Scantily clad. What does it matter? If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hjelmdalaman, the man from Hjelmdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
A small mountain of...
Wonderful board game, Browbritter, is a fun game of economic competition.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family? Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
Then you're a lucky man. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and reap. Wonderful choice, sir. Oh, lousy auras. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals.
An endless variety. There's also books in a board. There's a box. That price is nonsense for anemic Beano-clads.
If you say so, but you better stay away from those immoral occult rituals.
The front of this quarterly journal features a lot. To your disappointment, after the magazine is divided into comrade, but only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international...
What do you expect?
You flip back to the front of this section. You also, face it, you flip back to the front of the magazine. It takes... Why? As you leave, the main feature, though, is a long essay titled The Actual... If you don't follow it, that certainly sounds like a certain delinquent youth who likes to harass you. You think, instead, where to even... So, all of it. Basically, oddly, there's no way. Have you ever met an undercap? Thus, and that precise. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000. You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Ah, oh, come on. Can this article read your mind? Well, there you have it. No reason to get hung up on the pretentious ramblings of a few young men. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table, unsurprised, you skim. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants. The writer, G. Martin, you flip back to the front of the magazine. In your hands, you hold a brand new copy of the game, Suzerainty. It's snugly wrapped in a skin of plastic. The cover features a charming illustration depicting a mass of grinning laborers load. The box has a nice heft to it. You hear the rattle of individual wooden tokens and feel their what treasures wait. Even before you open it, you can tell that this will be a meaty game of grand strategy and complex player interactions. Good thinking. It could be a collectible someday. Large letters on the front, text underneath the title. Mysterious things rattle inside. What could they be? None of that witless man from Hyun. A blurb on the back reads, tired of the tedium and toil of modern life? Escape to Wirral. Leave behind. Succumb to a world of high pasternal fantastique. Unleash your imagination. Exactly. In no time, you could be romping through grasslands with low-level characters, hunted by Iskalarai. Large letter. You pry open the box. A reprint of a... It doesn't seem to correspond. A quick guide. The options are in order of it. The Welkin. The Welkin come. You stuff it back inside. It's made from some sort of wood. You place the die into your pocket. It's always good to have luck on your side. You see a man in ragged clothes.
Huh. Interesting. A communard. It is not. The communards are not a part of the game setting. I guess someone misplaced it during the packaging process. I have a feeling the figurines are more there to set the scene than anything else.
You pick the figurine up by the base to meet your gaze. The little plastic man stares back at you, his face contorted into a disturbing shout. Then you pocket it. A colorful box with the title, Wirral, in bold letters. It's a ball. You pry open the box. A colorful box.
Hi, Ace.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels. Shelves full of biographies.
I would say the book is also very daring. Perhaps.
Do her work.
Certainly.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside. The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. An iron. This is direct. What an odd thing to. Still, no. Those curtains.
There must be another one.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Something.
Hello?
You've awakened the entity.
Hello? Did you say anything?
You hear.
After you, officer.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try? So what?
Could this be? She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should
Yes, mostly. They just. Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. I'm a novel.
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light. but her hands strong.
Answer, I'm not sure.
It almost... This person means you or no one else.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure? Yes, 10 real, and I can get these ready in 8 hours. Maybe you have some other idea. What do you mean by cursed? Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real. Maybe you have some other ideas for dice? What do you mean by cursed? Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give... Maybe you have some other ideas for dice? A normal die? Polyhedral dice. Dice that have... Come on now, be a little creative. I think I have just the right one for...
Police colors.
Not the most original. Here, catch.
A beautiful woman tossing you a gift. Whatever you do, don't overthink it. Mr. Smooth moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie.
What are the odds? The red one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay, and the blue one is the inverse.
She smiled at you. She smiled. You truly...
You definitely need luck in Martinez. Was there anything else? Nothing.
Who cares? The lieutenant looks at his notebook.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. I might have.
It's like...
It's really hard to make anything out. It's an odd profession. Well, during the...
She's not...
But I never saw anyone...
She not...
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the...
Creative.
More or less.
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
Yes.
You wouldn't. A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
You're right.
She's right. An androgynous crew cut.
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club. A community project created to steer a kind man. Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh yes, I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't.
You should have. It's not real.
Eventually, the coalition took away. Oh, and they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway, and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. Yeah, don't. You mean me?
But what drugs exactly?
He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals.
Even you can probably do better. You can almost see it. A small, sickly old man, hunched behind his work desk, his pants stained with old piss, stuffing a sad, stiff-legged raccoon dog. The entire scene looks tragic.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came. Yeah, and you know, and, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in Kyton from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. At least it had some spark to Anything else? They were made. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula, or Tiumotiri, or Hash, the usual.
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still...
They were just props. Why return them?
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about rope. They certainly took their work very serious. The usual. Well, they seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest. Yes, but in the end...
She's right. Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work...
And so is producing something extraordinary.
Something strains her face.
Anything else? Oh, I think...
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her.
You could...
If the Whirling is part of the same building...
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. Right. Maya...
Agreed.
His disdain for pinball...
It can't... Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a... Oh, right. Trison used to...
No. It was something else. It was eerie.
Pranks can... Oh, the kids these days. Sure. I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. I've heard the stories, but I don't... It's just Capley Sounds, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow? All right, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the Whirling in Rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. And then there is me. I've been here.
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
Malignant.
The time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
So I'm the Grand Dragon in the cave. Might I ask what supports this claim? Ethereal?
No, it's the troubled color of her energetic vibrations.
Of course you do. Show me a person in Martinez who doesn't have any tragedies in their past, and then we'll... If you ever find a way to...
Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you will make sense of the situation.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
You feel not...
Excuse me.
Officer!
Undressing...
Miss, I apologize for my colleague's behavior.
What have you found? And also a novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use... I don't understand. If it's...
The narrative. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her.
A third...
A great dark relief.
I've heard of these triactors. I understand everything, sir. May the Lord be with you.
Well, this has been absolutely educational. If we happen on the third presence in our travels, we will certainly come back.
Yes.
Should we get out of here? Before the...
Shelves full of biographies of famous people. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches...
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
The maps look old and faded. The North Coast to the east, Hudon. It's so No. This is somewhere to be. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range amidst the point of the book and many various paranatural books. A sulfur-crested cockatoo. Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems. Turns out that there are so many...
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
The worn map features your finger move. Finally.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the map.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Rivershore. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. Looking up at the sky, cold, grey sky like great battleship, humid. Your coat shields you from the rain while the city shivers around you. A traffic jam. The road ascends.
Have a brother in the cut. Where the wood at? Have a brother in the cut. Where the wood at?
To be in Martinique, standing in the rain. In the rain-swept satellite officer, Jean Vichmer, rushes down the precinct stairs, umbrella in hand. It's unopened. He doesn't seem pleased about the spring rain. On the bridge, Officers Torson and McLean are standing guard. Torson wears jeans and a...
Where's your homo, homie?
What?
It's not like that. They're what is called heterosexual life partners. They have a battle-tested relationship. A brother bond, if you will.
Huh? Yeah.
Sexual life partners.
Funny apery. Male-centric workplace humor. Have you seen him?
Is there something wrong?
No, nothing. It's just... Judith went to his place and found the Monday mail unopened. I think he's still there. You didn't, drink with him over the weekend, did you?
That would be irresponsible.
With that animal? Never again, man. What is he, still down there? In, south of the interchange? What was it?
In Martinez. He's in Martinez.
Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink. Coalition aerostatics, capes up, hallways, a yard. The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder. You realize from the corner of his eye, the lieutenant gives your feet a worried glance. Rain drips from his glasses. The lieutenant nods, then looks behind the gates. La Drusienne, Couronne, a silvery curtain of sheets of the ruin, the skyscrapers of La De. Will you ever go there? No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who urban coal city, and your hair is an oily mess, collapsed storm drains, old sewage systems flooded with rainwater, hidden weapon caches from the revolution, doors leading down to Le Royaume, the catacombs to which, for 3 centuries, they delivered the blue blood.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we are dressed for it. Let's keep moving. Yes?
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk. Beautiful things, remember.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire...
What for?
What do you think I'm trying to paint here? A mural for a better tomorrow? Why do you really need it? But boring. You're not using my lovely brush to spread border. Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about? Let me stop you right there, Piggy. You have no idea, do you? No idea. No brush? Fuck off. There, Piggy. I guess art just isn't really you. 'Cause you suck in life and in everything.
Tremble. The time is now. Taola. Time for the show. Ulogu Theodos. Monday morning. The moment, yes, you spoke the word. It's totally also a coping mechanism. The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing.
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman. She leaves an old lady to...
She mumbles some kind.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Why place a tourist attraction in the middle?
There was a... They got... That's odd.
Your money disappears into the coin, the curtains, the lenses. Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Really?
This coin operated...
Probably some kids.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. A thick that's under the graffiti. You know that the chest around the large wood...
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes?
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching our... Oh, excuse me. A small cabinet on the wall is...
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Wandering man. How can I help you? The little boy had it good on his promise. To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me, pardon the...
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cop's in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that... It's a minor...
He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way.
I learned that people...
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff, mostly. That was the interesting part. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
All of it? There are junior officers out there.
It's implied.
And Mesqui's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a... No problem.
He is sincerely grateful. Lorry stuck. The windows are clear. The driver, the back...
Racist, nationalist, paraphernalia. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is.
He was acting tough before. An old monument stands. That felt good. Your heart's pounding nicely. You should tell people to fuck off.
Not as a general rule, but that one was justified. Better to get the lay of the land before telling people to fuck off.
That means you should do it whenever you feel like someone's disrespecting your authority. That's the spirit. Never forget. The whole world's a wooden house, and you're a goddamn flamethrower.
Make way for the master poet. Ah, man. But Those days are behind me. Hey, man.
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law...
We have a crit...
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's better. Gotta guard the...
Rhymes working on these...
Look, man.
It's not a lie. It's something else. Impossible to say what at this point, but there's something in him. Some trepidation.
Make way for the master poet. Make way for the master poet.
In his eyes, an unfamiliar longing. Flecks of brown and gold. It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon. The road continues for miles, flowing together with other roads, turning above the jump to the old south, to the far you cannot see.
Excuse me? Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping in absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home. Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much, on another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with them. It comforts me. What about you, Cop Man? You missing someone?
Is that what it is? This feeling? No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
I feel for you, my friend. It's bad enough to know who you miss. Missing like that doesn't feel like it has much of an upside. But thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone, and I know it wasn't easy to ask. I hope you find your way through your own troubles. Oh.
Time, relax. He's merely joking.
Can't even get a few They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Ilmaran market lately. Not unless...
Never. They would never illegalize sport.
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring island.
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up.
Good eye.
There it is again. The man taps his finger. file cabinet stands steady as ever. The drawers.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't... Oh, I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is... But there's a...
Yes.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly... And I'm sure you're...
Does this jiggling ooze think he...
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitson. Outside... Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry. Allowed, just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. You can get the key from man. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. See you.
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamique. Our personal dynamique has changed. A little.
He means very little. Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you? What thing? We already got in the harbor.
There are 3 categories. Those are a receding genetic pool has led them. The Vesper, the other overproduction, as proven by the Maun and the The Areopagites are asleep. The latter.
Nature was not capable of more. The Khoikos of Grad, Yuko, Zhimsk, Chest et al.
Yes, pinkness is the Khoiko.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
They are its leader, Revasholi.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The mysteries of the people of this planet are the revolution. Enough of tips. The F are a museum. It would be cruel. You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone. You need to internalize. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss. I am the hard. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman.
There must be some friction.
Also, to serve is noble, of course. Above all, rampant move. Stop explaining yourself. Offshoot. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products. The South. I am a descendant. The narrow street. No.
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase this line of inquiry.
I'm from. You have heard enough about our phylogenetics.
I think this racist is better than that.
That will be the.
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits.
The lieutenant does not.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of racist.
True, the drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example.
Your ear?
Yes.
That
Babe.
You have him off guard now. He's preoccupied with his. He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic.
Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into... Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Does it... Yes. Oh, great. Please, no. No, you were trying to...
Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you really want to know?
Great. Anything else?
You hear...
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Just a sec.
10-2, 10-5.
A scrawny... the man...
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over. 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-4, your badge should have most of your personal details. Look over that. Over. 10-4, anything else for you, sir? Over. 10-9, over. 10-4,
10-20.
Is it him? Says he lost. He what? He lost his badge? This is communicate. You mean your partner? What is he saying? He's asking who you are. I'm his goddamn partner. It's your partner, Satellite Officer Vitmar, sir. Oh, did he lose his memory along with his fucking badge? Who lost his badge? Dick fucking Mullen. Who do? It's Officer Dick Mullen from the...
Dick Mullen is... Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
He says this has probably happened to other policemen before.
Oh, god damn it. Is he fucking kidding? The whole state...
Satellite...
Mullen dicked us.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that...
Fuck me. What's going on? Super, he lost his what now?
His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
He asks you to please stop saying he lost his badge.
Why? Did he find it?
Sergeant Orson was wondering if you found your badge yet.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like this.
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it. 10-9.
New heights even for... Ask him.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too. Over.
Oh, fuck. Even before you...
He says he...
Ask him to...
Satellite...
The fuck? Oh. Request a description, huh? We'll give him one. Describe the plasma gun.
He hosted...
Dear God,
this isn't really...
I'm not going...
Ask...
Now is a good time to say fuck and ass and so on. That'll make this all right.
That's a negative, not good.
What's he saying?
He said he sodomized your mother.
The prick ate Mama's vanilla waffles at the captain's birthday party.
Sure her vanilla waffles were the only thing he ate?
Shut up, Chester. This isn't funny. This is my mom we're talking about. Tell him to apologize.
Sergeant Orson requests that you apologize for the claims that you made about his mother. Over. Mac, he says you shouldn't...
Who?
Satellite Officer V. I'm afraid he might be referring to himself as Firewater.
Firewater? He's lost it. Fuck it. Tell him to find his goddamn badge and gun. That's the only thing.
Satellite Officer V. 10-4, affirmative. Officer is in pursuit of his firearm.
Oh, God,
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over. Roger that. 10-10.
18 kilometers. Relay booth. A small crowd. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, a buzz with laughter when Officer Judith Minnow enters. Her left arm is in bandages and her hair trimmed short.
What is going on here?
What happened is my partner made contact. It's not good. He's lost his badge and his sidearm. He seemed confused, delirious even.
Mac, the torso Torson, is finger-fucking his fist, laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty story to his partner.
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, all right. Sounded fucking drunk to me.
Yeah, Mac's right. That was some
Enough!
We must help him.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh?
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
Mac, man the door. This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this to the...
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Good.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage.
looking for something, Rod? Come to tell me to fuck off again? Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but... apples? Yeah.
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest.
Drugs? You know where... They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage.
He eyes you warily, unsure.
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't. What do you think?
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost it since he left. I haven't had anyone to talk to. It's a fucking travesty, is what it is. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang. That of course, he's trying.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Guess so.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs, that's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Said that's even cooler. Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder, and he's an asshole. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. No! That's insane! It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Maybe he's the one, huh? Have you thought about that? Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd? You know, the drug crowd?
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd. He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
Shush, please. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please, don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. All of them.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both. Everything's still cool here, officer.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there.
Oh, Okay. But what?
After all this mess?
An investment? What kind of investment?
Or you could not make this about corruption and go with something even wilder.
I hear you, officer. What kind of a sum are we talking about here? What? Only a $5? You can't even buy a pack of Royal Extras with that.
God, a pack of Royals.
Sounds like a fair deal.
Corruption. It's just like bus or seagull. A kid watching up.
Me?
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as...
Very cool. The shine on these...
Those you've...
These are all fun.
Whoa, a bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
True. The bridge is fine.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Does Kuno care? So? Yeah, so? Kuno did sick the pigs on him. Kuno's a man of his word.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like Jello.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
Good idea.
Yeah, after this...
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno doesn't fucking care. Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno's Kuno?
It's always Kuno. Primal. Violent.
Kuno doesn't do that smart shit. Don't throw that bullshit at Kuno. Kuno knows you're lying. trying to get Kuno hooked on the book.
The boy knows he has an addictive personality. Admirable insight for his age.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his help!
Help! He's got the Kuno help! Help! He's...
Escalate!
Pigs in eating Kuno! Somebody, please!
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason. You didn't shut him down. Your fat
Pig!
The whole
Fucked your shoulder, fucked your knee, fucked your fat body up!
Yeah, you deserve this. Trying to show your dick to Kuno. Kuno was scared. Kuno beat the shit.
I told you not to. Now, how...
Look, see? It's the fucking war pig.
You belittled yourself before the Kuno. Now you must seek his
fucking war pig. Yeah? How are we gonna make it up to Kuno, pig?
A material offering is implied. He wants stuff. Only stuff can make it okay again.
What are you doing?
Have you come to make your offering to Kuno?
This must...
That's probably...
This must be...
That's probably the door Efrat mentioned. We still need to...
How'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Oh, so then what you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the Whirling in Rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you, cause who he? Ask him about the Hardy Boys.
Los Hardys? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law.
Is he actually comparing you, an officer? Come on. He's just trying to keep the peace.
Why not? Must be nice being something else for a change. The rest of us are just folks. The mercenary, eh? Who? What a thought. Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent. I ain't the murdering type. But that's just me.
Understood.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. We're negotiating. Aye. All of it.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page.
Sure thing.
What is this? News of the world? Talk about personal stuff. Get to know him.
Call me Mañana. I'm just a humble harbor worker.
Mañana sounds like a mess word, but he doesn't actually look much like a mess. Not a given name for certain. It's a taken name. The kind for artists, or criminals, or revolutionaries and the sort.
A name worthy of the man who holds his friend. Names are important. I'd say a real name is what most people call you. Now that we are getting so well acquainted, what's your name?
Be honest with him. The man whispers a jaunty tune, a coastal... This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nail, you tried? Finally. Good job. Only There might, as you hold. This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just once, it's an optical, atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, the flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just... A row of mugs sits on the shelf. A little the images the owner of these mugs doesn't. This person, the lieutenant, picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash, and now they've drawn the ire of the Union.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clue. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows?
You could ask Everard who this person is.